Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Dontae Jones here in the Dick Goddard Weather Center. Just talking about the forecast here on Facebook for a few minutes. We didn't have a 6 p.m. newscast because of sports. The new Crown tournament, I believe. I think this might be the second year. I had never heard of it before, but my colleagues filled me in on what it was. But nonetheless, we were waiting with bated breath in the studio to bring you news and weather and sports, but sports is the one that kept us off. Anyway, we should be on tonight at 10 o'clock, regular time. So if you are looking for us at 10 o'clock, we should be good. But because we didn't have a newscast, we figured why don't we give the folks a little weathercast here on Facebook if you're joining us. All right, so let's talk about the big picture. Temperatures, you probably noticed, as we had talked about for the past couple of days, cooled down through the day today. It started off warm. And then over the course of the afternoon, ending on a cooler side. So it's raw out there tonight. Feels more like fall than spring. And we continue that active pattern even as we go through tomorrow and even on Monday. We're starting to wind it down on Tuesday, but a few flurries around. And then we're drier as we head into Wednesday. And then guess what? More showers for next Thursday and Friday. But right now, next weekend looks pretty good. Let's just knock on wood and hope it can stay that way. The temperature roller coaster, I shouldn't call it a roller coaster. It's more going to be a gradual climb. We'll gradually climb. We'll do the opposite of that right there. We'll climb. There we go. We'll climb a little hill and climb a bigger hill with temperatures. And it probably makes you excited to get back to Cedar Point and Kings Island, summertime to come, looking at that, doesn't it? All right, we still have a flood watch in effect for those counties in green that you see there. And even though some of the other counties aren't shaded in green, still, from the time we started this midweek until tomorrow, still going to have plenty of water, plenty of rain, if you will, and some minor flooding around, but not as much as those counties that we see in the green. Then flood advisories and flood warnings here. Flood advisories for some of these counties because you're seeing some flooding, and you'll see some of those other little greens in there. Those are different rivers and creeks that are starting to overflow their banks. So flood warnings and flood advisories there for those counties. So just a heads up, it's a little more of an immediate situation for you. But we're not looking at major flooding, thankfully. But there is going to be some minor flooding that's going to impact some folks nonetheless. So unfortunate, we have more rain on the way. This is what we saw for the past 24 hours. And you can see why those counties are in the flood advisory, because they received about an inch and a half or more in the past 24 hours. Look at Mansfield, about an inch and 3/4. About an inch and a half, just shy of an inch and a half in Worcester, a little over an inch and a half in Canton, about an inch, a little over an inch, probably about an inch and a quarter in Akron, and Cleveland got about an inch. So that's why those areas are seeing the flood advisory, because there was quite a bit of rain that fell in the past 24 hours. Look at this, another plume of moisture coming our way. Good news is, see those red boxes that are popping up down in places like Arkansas and over towards Mississippi and Alabama and Kentucky and Tennessee. We're not seeing those, thankfully. So that's the good news. We'll take a little bit of minor to moderate flooding as long as we can keep the severe weather away. So here's what satellite and radar looks like right now. Scattered light showers. That is another piece of the good news, though, is that the showers are going to stay light as we go through the evening. They're going to be persistent, but at least they're going to be light. We're not looking at a deluge here. That front kind of slow moving. It's a little bit warmer in places like Carrollton and Columbiana right now, but cooler air infiltrating in there. 54 in Youngstown, 51 in Akron. But then you head up towards everybody else, we're in the 40s. So it feels a little colder than that with the wind chill, a little cool, a little breeze out there. 41 is the real feel in Cleveland and Mansfield and Worcester, and 40 in Lorain and Ashtabula, 51 in Akron. So the cooler air is infiltrating in here with this northerly component to the wind and a little breeze. It's just, again, that raw feel out there, wet and breezy. Visibility problems as the air starts to cool. It cools to its what we call the saturation point. It's full of moisture. As the temperature cools down and the air is full of moisture, we get that fog. So it's a yucky looking, especially where the temperatures are the coolest, a little closer towards the lake. Tomorrow we will start to become a little breezier, so it will feel colder as the precipitation continues. And not only will it feel colder, it's going to be colder. And so some of this rain is going to switch over to a rain-snow mix and some snow at times too. So we're going to hang here in the 40s for a while as we go through the evening and through the overnight too. And then 30s by the time we head into the day tomorrow. So here's the daily breakdown of precipitation. So tomorrow we got a rain-snow mix, and I'll show you that in a second here with the Futurecast, and then a wintry mix on Monday with the Clipper system, primarily in the afternoon. In the morning on Monday will be dry. May even start off with a little bit of sunshine too, but cold, and cold on Tuesday too. Actually, we're colder on Tuesday than Monday. A few flurries around for Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we're dry with some sunshine, warming back up a little bit. And then Thursday and Friday, we get more scattered showers. Let's get that out of the way Thursday and Friday so that we can have a nice weekend next weekend. Opening day may not be so nice. Oh, my goodness, look at that. Guardians and White Sox, 35, partly to mostly cloudy skies, breezy, so wind chills in the upper 20s, mid to upper 20s. First pitch at 4:10. So if the game even still goes on, it's going to be really cold. I don't know, because I'm not a huge baseball person, so I don't know what the threshold might be to postpone a baseball game for cold weather. So yikes. Oh boy. That's always the conundrum. You think baseball, you think spring and summer and warm weather, but I mean, this is fine for a football game. for a baseball game, it's just a tad different. All right, here's the Futurecast. So again, most of the rain is light, but where you see those yellows, it's a little more on the moderate side. There's 11:30 midnight-ish. We're starting to break it up to where it's going to become just more scattered overnight tonight, but it's still going to be there. Still on and off again rain showers. And then notice by 7 in the morning, kind of use 76 as that dividing line. Still some rain showers south of 76. And that purple is a rain-snow mix in there for us. And maybe just a little bit of freezing rain. But it's still a mix of precipitation in there for north of 76. And then we head down south. By noontime tomorrow is where you're getting the bulk of the precipitation. So a rain-snow mix, maybe a little bit of sleet, maybe a little bit of freezing rain in there for us, mainly south. And then north in the evening time, north of 76, we're starting to get a few snow showers, a few flakes in there through tomorrow evening as the temperatures are now cooled off. And then we head into the overnight, tomorrow overnight, and we're starting to dry things out. You can see there at 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday, the morning rush may be actually pretty. The morning rush may have some sunshine, warming temperatures, not warm, but warmer than Sunday. But then look what happens in the afternoon. Clipper system comes in. So the evening commute, not going to be as nice. So we got rain and snow right there. That comes in for the evening commute. But that gets out of here. And then there's Tuesday. And we break the cloud cover up a little bit. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy or variably cloudy for Tuesday. There might be still a few lake effect snow bands or flurries coming in off the lake there. You can see that one right there around Columbiana, if you'll notice that. Right into Pennsylvania where it says Columbiana and 79. That's a snow streamer, a snow band. So we could see a few of those coming in off the lake. You can even look at just east of Ashtabula. So that's the general trajectory as that northwesterly wind comes in across the lake on Tuesday, that we could see some flurries in there throughout the day. Again, probably not amounting to much, but maybe a dusting in higher elevations of the snow belt and on grassy surfaces. That's maybe an inch and a half is at best, but that's about it. So as far as rainfall goes, we're looking at, because south of 76, we'll see the bulk of the rain from here on out. It's probably about a tenth to 2/10 of an inch north of 76, and then south of 76, about 1/2 inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. So that's how much more we've got to go. But on already saturated ground, that's enough. It just doesn't bode well for anybody who's already seeing saturated ground. So the flooding threat does continue. So it's still, again, in effect until tomorrow morning, but we still have to just watch for some minor to moderate flooding here and there. So 36 tonight, scattered rain, chilly temperatures, and even though it's chilly, 36 is where we should be for this time of year. This is actually pretty average and pretty normal. And then tomorrow, that's not. 39 tomorrow. Again, with that wintry mix, chilly and breezy, so it's going to feel colder. It's just a raw fall wintry kind of feel tomorrow. Probably more wintry than fall. Again, 45 on Monday. Mostly cloudy skies. Some sunshine in the morning, but the afternoon we get that clipper system comes in here. And then 35 on Tuesday. Partly to mostly cloudy with a few flurries around. Then Wednesday, we start to warm up a little bit. 47, we get some sunshine. Enjoy that, because then Thursday and Friday come in and we're warmer, sure, 50s, but then we also got some rain showers for Thursday and Friday. But oh, look, if we can just hold on to that, if things don't change, the next weekend looks good. 55 on Saturday with some sunshine, and 59 on Sunday with some sunshine. Oh, that would be great if we can have that. So let's hope the forecast doesn't change there. I'm going to do my part, talk to Mother Nature, see if I can sweet talk her, see if we can get some deal going to where we can keep that going. All right, everybody. So that's it. We will see you again at 10 o'clock tonight. We are still looking to go on time. Of course, if that changes and you tune in at 10 o'clock and don't see us, we'll be on shortly thereafter. I don't think we'll be going on too much later than 10 o'clock. But other than that, I know it's a yucky weekend, probably a good weekend to get some things done around the house. Spring's going to be here. Well, spring is here, but the nice weather of spring will be here before you know it, where you probably want to get out and maybe enjoy the weather, as opposed to, being cooped up in the house. So now with weekends like this, where it's kind of cold, it's rainy, snowy, what have you, probably a good time to get those things done around the house. So when the weather cooperates, you can get out and enjoy it. All right, everybody, I will see you at 10 o'clock. Have a good evening.